Check. Checking on the microphone. We'll be starting here very shortly, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for all of those who have tuned in on YouTube. Checking some microphones, make sure they're going to sound great for everybody.
Hey everybody, if you're ready, we're gonna get started. So why don't you guys kind of mosey on over to the whiteboard so we can get kicked off tonight, get everything going. I'm not speaking first. Good? Okay. Stragglers, make your way over here. You know who you are. Jordan. Come closer. All right, good job. All right, guys, welcome to Faith RX. We're glad that you all came tonight. This is the first time I've ever been mic'd up for Faith RX. I think it's the first time anybody's ever been mic'd up for Faith RX. I'm going to be your coach tonight. This is our workout. We'll get to that in a minute. I believe that there was somebody that was going to speak first, correct? Jim. Cool. All right, Jim, go ahead and make your way over here, my friend. Never mind. Stay that way. Follow Jim.
Okay, it is on. Cool. You guys, welcome. Thanks for coming to Faith RX. We've been around since 2013. I am Jim Conzelman, one of the three founders of Faith RX. And just wanted to, Chrissy asked me to give a little bit of the background of Faith RX, how we got started, and what we're all about. And I know you guys have maybe found out about us online or a friend invited you, but maybe you don't know much about Faith RX. So this is an opportunity for you guys to learn about that before we get to the workout and get to hear from our Backcountry CrossFit team, who are going to be part of a panel talking about their experiences at the games and their faith and fitness. So just a little bit about us, Faith RX. There was a guy named Chip Pugh back in probably about 2010, started something called CrossFit Faith. It was an online devotional, and he started growing a pretty quick following. He was the Tennessee Tech strength coach, and he had athletes you may have heard of, like Rich Froning and Dan Bailey and Elijah Muhammad and people like that. And so he was a real mentor for those guys. And as CrossFit Faith really grew, right about the same time, there was a lady named Becky Conzelman, who is my wife, and she was an athlete. She started out as a track cyclist and rose into some great success with that, World Cups, World Championships, way back in 2005, 2006. She was a Fellowship of Christian Athletes area founder for the Lehigh Valley, and then had a couple kids, got out of shape, wanted to get back in shape, and found CrossFit. So as she competed, she didn't really want to compete. She just wanted to get in shape, but of course all that fitness from cycling carried over, and so she started doing really well. Found herself in the 2012 CrossFit Games and in the stadium, and I guess I'll show you guys a quick picture of that because I've got a couple of the... Okay. So I don't know how easy this is to see, but this was the stands back at the CrossFit Games. So back in 2012, found herself on the stadium floor there and really looked around at the stands and taking in the whole thing with gratitude and thinking, do those people know how to have a relationship with Christ in the way that she knew? And so began to just have this vision for CrossFit. And of course, CrossFit is a community that is great at building community through shared suffering that we'll get to all experience tonight. So what if we brought together people in the name of faith and fitness to use this sport of CrossFit to really also grow in our faith, not just our fitness? So she prayed about it. Back in January of 2013, she really started the train rolling of getting people like Rich and Dan and others to share their testimonies as part of an Athlete New Testament. And that has been published by us through Faith RXD. And it has just these testimonies. This is Guido, our current founder, or I'm sorry, current executive director. But that same type of sports New Testament was a huge influence for her. So as a kid, she found the FCA Sports New Testament. Athletes like Michelle Akers, soccer player, really spoke to her, really brought alive scripture that she was learning about through sports camps. So we got together in June of 2013 at a regionals in Columbus, Ohio, and just started to brainstorm beyond just a book. What would a ministry look like? And so the pieces of Faith RX began to come together as Chip, Becky, and a few other key leaders began to meet. And so by July of 2013, we distributed 3,000 of these Athlete New Testaments at the CrossFit Games. And then in November 13th, we had our first Iron Sharpens Iron camp in Austin, Texas. January 8th, 2014, our first chapter, and now we have 83 around the world in 10 countries, was in Denver, Colorado, so right here. And so June 14th, we had our third Iron Sharpens Iron camp, which was Backcountry CrossFit. And then by the end of 2014, we had 28 chapters across the U.S., including one in the U.K. So the Faith RX logo, and I forgot I just want to share the, meant to have it on my t-shirt, but just to give you guys a quick background on that. So what this represents is the thorns of Christ being united with a wall ball target, just like these that Backcountry has. And so that's the whole goal of Faith RX, is that as you work out, you get to, and as you learn more about your faith, you learn that workout can actually be worship. And some of the athletes may be talking about that later as well. And then the RX portion is what is prescribed through faith in Scripture. And so we're given that opportunity to live out our life as prescribed in the Bible. And just like as a coach prescribes a workout and we do our best, and sometimes we have to scale and sometimes we don't make it, but we're striving toward that goal. And so that's what Faith RX is striving to do in both. So the mission is to unite and strengthen the fitness community to live for Christ, share his love, and serve the world. Christ, as you can tell in that statement, is at the center. And then it's really about the people of Faith RX being ultimately on mission in service. One of the things that we like to say, and something that Chip Pugh, one of our founders, came up with, was this idea that we're on a path of champions. So I just wanted to share that with you guys real quick. So the first step is spectator. And as God's 100% design for us was broken through the freedom that he gave us to choose our own way, he also provided a way out of that brokenness. And what we call that is becoming an athlete. So as you accept that free gift of grace that he gives us, you become an athlete. And then beyond that, he really calls all of us to become competitors in our faith. So through spiritual disciplines like prayer and reading the word, it's all about a relationship with Christ. And so in that free gift of Christ, he gives us that opportunity to actually have a relationship with him, become a competitor, and then ultimately become a coach. And so spectator, athlete, competitor, and a coach is who goes back to that place of spectators and athletes and shares with them and helps move them along the path of champions. Ways that you guys can get involved is there are true strength camps a couple times a year. Our next one is in College Station. Unfortunately, that's down in Texas. Unfortunately. No, Texas is all right. But it did sell out, so you can't go to that one, but we do have more a couple times a year. Please check out our website, faithrx.org, and you can sign up there if you guys have signed up, I know. And then the other thing you can think about doing is, Christy Barber, raise your hand. Okay, back there. She is our chapter director. The one prior to her was Heather Gamble. Thank you. If you are inspired by what you experience here at Faith RX, we encourage you to get involved in the leadership team. So we have various roles. If you're good at marketing, you might be the outreach coordinator. If you have a passion for service, you can become the service coordinator, providing opportunities for every one of us to serve our community, which is a huge part of our mission. And then if you love CrossFit and you're a coach, then you can become one of the coaches for a leadership team. We actually, right here in Denver, we have an Aurora chapter, a North Metro Denver chapter, which is represented here with our chapter director there, Andrea. And Kirk is one of our Aurora on the leadership team with those guys. So there are a lot of chapters here, a lot of leadership teams, and even if you move, we encourage you to get involved with Faith RX in that city, and if there isn't one, you can start one. The other thing that we do is strength groups, and so you may not have heard much about that, but if you're passionate about discipling others and helping them grow in their faith, you can start a Bible study or a discipleship group, and we can provide content for that. One of the things that you might want to use for content is on the app, the Faith RX app. So if you just type in on Google Play or the Apple Store, you can find the Faith RX app. And there's content, daily devotionals from there, and there are faith workouts that you can use for those strength groups. And then finally, we encourage you to be a chaplain at your gym, encouraging others. And so this is about us being on mission, being ambassadors of what Faith RX is all about, striving toward that RX in your faith and your fitness. Another way, a couple other ways real quick, is to donate, and you'll find a donate link on the Faith RX app that you can pull up, or on our website, faithrx.org. And then finally, just living your life on purpose. And a quick verse I wanted to share with you guys to encourage you, and that is Matthew 25:35. And a lot of you guys may have heard of it. And so this is actually Jesus. And a lot of times when we serve those who are most needy in our communities, it's actually Christ that we're serving. And so he says, "For I was hungry and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you invited me in." Matthew 25:35. So that's what I got. So Kirk, got a great workout for you tonight. Take it away. Thank you guys so much.
you want me to move that so that way it's not like blocked by the pipes? Good. All right. Thank you. It's always good to hear from you, Jim. We appreciate everything that you've done for Faith RX over the years, and you'll continue to do. So thank you so much. Welcome to your workout tonight, guys. Tonight you have an 18-minute AMRAP. Okay. This is gonna be a little bit longer one. It's also got quite a few movements. Pretty simple. It's not gonna take up too much space. This is a new space, so I didn't really know what we were working with till I got here. And now that I've seen what we got, I'm gonna try to keep, especially with the amount of people, we're just gonna be working with the dumbbell and the rig, okay? So you're gonna start out 18-minute AMRAP today. This means as many rounds or as reps as possible, okay, for those of you that don't know. After that, you're gonna go straight into 12 goblet lunges. So we're gonna use dumbbells today. The kettlebells are downstairs, so we're just gonna keep it simple and stay up here. You can hold your dumbbell at your chest. I don't care if you step forward or backward, up to you. Either way, back knee gently touches the ground. Shins staying vertical here. Keeping that core nice and tight, standing all the way back up before we switch sides, okay? It's 12 total, so 6 per side there. Then you're gonna move to 10 pull-ups or ring rows. I don't care what variation of pull-ups you do. A ring row is also another variation of a pull-up. We'll demo that as we get closer. Then we're gonna go into 8 dumbbell snatches. This will be 4 per side. So we're gonna tap that dumbbell on the ground, extend fully, lock out overhead, joints stay close to the ear here, okay? We're gonna do 6 burpees after that, chest touches the ground, gonna stand all the way back up, and we're gonna do a 400-meter run, okay? We'll go over all of these movements as we warm up so we understand them a little bit better, but just kind of giving you a general idea of how this flow is gonna work. Once you get through your 400-meter run, back to the top, keep working until that 18 minutes is up. Any questions about that? Cool. Is anybody here? I didn't prescribe any weights because I know there's a wide plethora of people in here, so we're gonna figure out what works best for each of us. If we run out of dumbbells, we can go downstairs and grab kettlebells for this as well. But kind of knowing yourself, if you're a beginner, we're gonna stay really light. If you're more advanced, games athlete, gonna go heavier, okay? So no prescribed weights tonight. We're gonna figure that out person by person. Does anybody have any injuries? Okay, we'll talk individually. Has anybody never done CrossFit before? Cool, we can help you out too. With that, would backcountry people like to lead us on a 400-meter run so we know where it's at?
Heather, 400-meter run?
400-meter run? Show us where it's at.
There you go, Heather. It's Kurt.
Yep.
I'm John.
All right. Yep, that's okay. We'll scale. We also got extra coaches, so that'll help. All right, as you guys come back in, I want you guys to grab a dumbbell to start warming up with. This is going to be lighter. Men, no more than like 30, 35. Ladies, no more than 20, 25, somewhere in there. This is a warm-up weight.
What, Heather? You did a great job.
And if we run out of dumbbells, we also have the kettlebells downstairs. It's just a journey to get them. Once you have a dumbbell, try to give yourself a little bit of room. We got the big squares. We can probably fit 2 people per square. Two people per square in here, guys. 2 people per square. You can do the little background, just like quiet. All right, guys. 2 people per square. If we need extra ones, there's some in the corner back there as well. And what was your injury?
What's that?
What was your injury?
Hammy.
Okay. This is. And then, so we'll just make stuff work. My bad. Got everybody's attention. All right. Now that we have our dumbbells, guys, and we have our space, we're just going to move through these movements pretty quick and easy. Just get our bodies moving. We'll go in more depth with like the pull-ups and the dumbbell snatches, but the lunges are pretty straightforward. I just want everybody to start out 10 body weight lunges, again, forward or backward. I don't really care. Just make sure that back knee gently touches the ground. Keep that core nice and tight. Stand all the way back up and go. Anybody else that's coaching, just go around and walk, double check. Indy. Once you guys have done, can you turn me back up a little bit? Just keep me on, like Adam. All right. Once you've done those 10 lunges, guys, find a spot on the rig. If we don't have enough all at once, that's okay. If you're doing ring rows, I want you to give me 5 ring rows. If you're doing pull-ups, I want you to jump up and give me 5 scat pull-ups, meaning that we're retracting our shoulder blades, keeping that core tight. And then I want you to give me 1 or 2 strict pull-ups, okay? If you don't know what a ring row is, you're gonna find a set of rings. They're in the middle here. Plank position, pulling the rings to your chest, standing up. We also have the back ring, or the back pull-up rig in the corner over there. All right, we're gonna skip the dumbbell snatches really quick. Once you've done those scat pull-ups and the strict pull-ups or the ring rows, I want you to give me 3 burpees. So chest touches the ground, kick back, bring those feet up, land wide so it's easier to jump back up, easier on your calves. 3 burpees. All right. Once you've done 3 burpees, everybody pick up your dumbbell. We're going to kind of do these together to walk through them a little bit for those of us that haven't done them before. Doesn't matter to me which hand your dumbbell starts in. I just want you to pick it up, hold it to your side for a moment. Once everybody's ready, we'll go. All right, we're going to break this movement down step by step just because there's a lot to it. It's a complex, simple movement, okay? So with that dumbbell standing up, I want it in your right or left hand. I don't care which one yet. From here, I just want you to dip your hips down. Chest is going to stay up here. And then I want you to stand up and squeeze your butt. And I want you to do that 3 times. Dip and then stand up 3 times. Yeah, feels weird, but we're learning. All right. Once you've done that, same hand, or if you need to switch because your hand's getting tired, we're going to dip and we're going to pull our elbow nice and high after we squeeze our butt. Okay, so dip, high pull. Perfect. 3 of them. All right. Does anybody have any questions about that? Cool. The dip should help move that dumbbell for you. Once you've done that, we're going to do 3 where we're going to go all the way overhead. So we're going to dip, shrug, and once we shrug, we're going to go all the way up overhead. Arms should stay stacked. Keep that core nice and tight the whole movement, okay? 3 of them. Go. Good. All right. Those look good. All right, guys. That's a hang dumbbell snatch. If you've never done a full dumbbell snatch today, that's going to be what you're doing the whole workout. It'll be the 4 and 4. From there, if you've done them before and you know how to do it, we're going to go all the way to the ground. So we're going to start with the dumbbell head on the ground here. We're not going to go fully flat today, so that way we can keep a little bit more upright chest position here. From here, it's like a deadlift. I'm going to stand up. That's our butt squeeze here. And then from there, we're going to continue through the movement, okay? So let's do the deadlift a couple times. So dumbbell head on the ground, resting, stand, squeeze your butt. Cool. We're doing 3. All right. Cool. Once you've done 3 of those, let's put it all together. Let's do 3 full snatches if you're doing them today. So dumbbell head on the ground, standing up all the way up overhead. All right. Make sure when we're doing this movement, core stays nice and tight. We don't want to be rounding in any position of this. We'll make sure that midsection's stacked the whole time. All right. Any questions on that? Okay. All right. Now let's do a little bit more. Let's add that weight to our lunges. Let's go ahead and do 10 more body weight or goblet lunges, sorry. Jordan, you can grab your weight, sorry. You're young, you're nimble. Make sure you guys don't drop your dumbbells today. We don't want to break any equipment here, and the ground also shakes violently. Once you've done those 10 lunges, let's go and do 5 pull-ups of whatever variation. If you're doing ring rows, 5 more ring rows. We have bands as well if you need bands. If you've never done a pull-up before, you're definitely doing ring rows today. If we need to scale down the number of pull-ups today, we can also do that as well. All right, once you've done your pull-ups, give me 3 more burpees. Good job, guys. Just jump up. Make sure your hips extend all the way. Yeah, they go up overhead. Once you've done your burpees, guys, go ahead and give me 5 dumbbell snatches per side, either hang or full, whichever one you're doing today. Yep, you can alternate.
5.
Yep, 5 per side. Good job, guys. Everybody's looking good. Nice. Good job. All right. Does anybody have any questions? Cool. All right. If you need to, let's go ahead and grab a little bit heavier weight, the workout weight that you're going to use today. I want you to do another set of goblet lunges, another set of dumbbell snatches just to get those to that workout weight, and then we'll get going, okay? Does anybody have any questions about their movements? I think there's a water cooler back there. You guys good?
So I'll just start. Do you have a band?
Yeah. There's bands over here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Does anybody need a band for pull-ups? If anybody needs to go to the bathroom, go now.
Did I get you?
A do not.
Just or here. So what
okay.
you gotta do, you kind of gotta get close. Like right here's fine.
Perfect.
And now just push the OK button, and it's a 10-second timer.
Cool.
Counts.
All right. Does everybody have their workout weight? Has everybody done a couple reps with their workout weight? You guys don't convince me very much. All right. Does everybody have space? Remember, there's that back rig too, if you need a little bit more room. Might be some flailers in here.
Flailers. You looking at me?
Yeah, I am.
Talking to me?
All right. There's going to be a couple of people wandering around that'll coach you if you have anything going on that feels iffy or if you have a question. I believe this gentleman and those two ladies back there. All right. Okay, everybody make your way back to your dumbbell. We're going to get going here. All right, is everybody ready? Are we missing anybody? Pay attention to your neighbors, guys. All right. Here we go, guys. Remember, starting out 12 goblet lunges. That's 6 per side, going in 10 seconds. Here we go. 5, 3, 2, 1, and go. Good job, guys. Keep it moving. Pace yourselves early. Pace yourselves early. lunges, try to get a little bit of bending on that. Yeah, like that. 6 more minutes left. 6 more minutes left. As the transfer overhead. There you go. It'll take the strain out of your arm as you go up.
Yeah. I think it's so great.
You're just like muscling. Okay. Good job. Keep it up. Good work, guys. Good work. Feel good? Okay. I mean, you've done 13 minutes of work. I probably just call it. I was pretty good. What'd you do? What's that? What'd you do? Good work. Keep it up. Nice little aerobic work for you, huh? Hanging out in the seat. Good job, guys. You have less than 4 minutes remaining. Keep it up. Just move. roll up the top so that way you don't stop here and then press up. Better, good. Yeah. Oh, good job. Keep letting it roll. If you're getting scared and you're pausing, good, better. Good job, guys. You have 45 seconds left. Don't stop moving. 45 seconds left. All right, last 30 seconds. Pick it up a little bit. Talking to you, Jordan. Go. You don't have time for Chuck. Let's go. 15. Don't stop. Here we go. 10. 5. 3, 2, 1. Time. Good job, guys. Go ahead and set the dumbbells down. Collect yourselves a little bit. Once you catch your breath, there's disinfectant wipes here in the middle. Let's go ahead and wipe down anything you use. Pull-up bars, dumbbells, bikes, rings. Good job. Yeah, what's your name? Enzo. Nice to meet you, Enzo. What's your name? My name's Kirk. Feeling good down there? Okay. Good job. Good job. Work. Good job, guys. What was that? There you go. Good job, guys. All right, again, when you're done, go ahead and grab a disinfectant wipe. Wipe everything down. Dumbbells, pull-up bars, rings, bikes. Jump. Okay. Yeah, and wipes in the middle of the rig over here, in the middle of where you guys are doing pull-ups. Will somebody help Christy? She's too short. Yeah, it's back over there in the corner. Jump. This is actually the complete opposite of what's normal. Usually, John is rushing us into things.
And you'll understand why in a little bit.
Perfect. All right, this is too loud because I'm sorry if it is. Thank you all for coming tonight. We have the CrossFit Games athletes that competed a month ago, about-ish. Yeah. So we're just going to do a panel tonight of just having them share with you what their experience was at the games, how they were training for it, how they've incorporated faith in their journey to get there, and in the day-to-days of battling mindsets of trying to get through workouts and various things like that. So it's just going to kind of be an open forum. I got a couple questions. They did their homework this week, so they'll be ready. The first question for each of you, and maybe just go down and just introduce who you are, how long you've been doing CrossFit. So yeah, whoever wants to start.
My name's James Stetson. I have been doing CrossFit since 2014. I actually used to be a part of the Faith RX Kansas City group as a coach for a little while before I moved out here a year ago, almost to the day. And I've been here at Backcountry since.
I'm Heather Gamble. I've been doing CrossFit for 7 years, and all of those years have been at Backcountry.
I'm John Wood. I've been doing, sorry, I just got to feel the waters. John Wood, I've been doing CrossFit for about 6 full years now. I actually grew up like 2 miles from this location. I was born just down the road. Left for college, came back, and I've been going to Backcountry for just over 3 years now.
I'm Zoe. I've been doing CrossFit since 2014, and all of them have been at Backcountry. And Heather's been my role model since day one.
Woo. I would like to say I started CrossFit after the age of 30, so you can too.
Awesome. So quick question for you guys. What was it like training for the games? Like how many hours a day were you living in this place and competing? Were you training twice a day, once a day, all day? What did that look like?
John?
All right, this is my question. So we came together as a team, I guess. I don't know, it's hard to, big question. Late February, and obviously we got to start training together. We weren't training together at all. All 4 of us were training individually, just like anybody else. So we haven't done any synchro movements. We did nothing on the worm, and then I guess in February we were like, all right, we got to start training together. James is a busy dude, works quite a bit. Us 3, not nearly to his extent. So a lot of it was kind of like, James, dude, when you're ready to go, we'll be here ready to roll. And then I do coach, so we would get kind of like these small windows here and there. We were training 4 times a week, I would say, as a team,
yeah.
together as a team. And we'd have anywhere, on a bad day, we'd have 45 minutes. On a good day, we'd have 2 hours. And then I'm just my personality. James walks in the door, and we've already been here for a little bit. So I'm like itching, ready to go. And James just casually walks in, wants to do his 5 corrective exercises. And I'm like, dude, we're going to be on a clock in 5 minutes. That's kind of where the rush goes. But to be more accurate with your question, how much were we training? I would say together as a team, doing formal team training. If you cut out all like the talking and stuff, I would probably say we were accumulating somewhere between probably 4 to 5.5 hours cumulative as a team a week together.
Yeah.
Which was more than enough, in my opinion, for what we did. And yeah.
I'd like to defend myself just a little bit, if that's all right. I do work a lot, but the reason why I take 5 minutes is because I thought I was retired from competition. I'll probably explain this in a bit, but I shredded my knee up like a 1.5 years ago, and so it takes me a little bit longer to warm up than everybody else. So I just want to throw that out there. It's not because I'm lazy.
Yeah, but I mean the main thing is we're not. No, yeah, it's just more on your question. Like, we're not in here like 4 hours a day as a team training. Individually, kind of each of us kind of do our own things, and we'll probably get into that later, I would assume.
Yep. Next one is, did you experience times of burnout along the way of the journey? And kind of like what mindset issues did you run into? Like, can I do this? Can I not do this anymore? What kind of came up as y'all were working through it?
Oh, okay. We're going there.
No, we went through it. Yeah, hit him.
Are we talking about me?
Yeah.
Just take it.
Okay, so I broke my wrist in January doing CrossFit, and it was stupid. I was really mental going into training with these three. They're, for one, quite a bit younger than me. Zoe's 17 years younger than me. So that was like on my brain a lot. Like, can I keep up with them? Wrist was hurting. We did the open, didn't do so hot, managed through it. It was still healing. One workout, horrible. I bombed it and literally wanted to quit. Actually, I kind of did quit, which is not like me. And I actually had to apologize to them. And I was like, this is at the beginning of our training. And I'm thinking, they're going to think that I'm a quitter from this point on. And I am not a quitter. That was the hardest. And that was in the beginning. And then still realized I couldn't keep up with them. But it got better. I never wanted to quit after that. But yeah, we all go through moments where we want to quit. I mean, every day. Seriously, like, and some days you do the best you can, and that's all that you can do.
I know for me personally, it was more when we got back from the games, because you're riding this high. It's like the best time of your life. You're like at adult summer camp. And then we all got sick, we all got COVID. So when we got home, it was like, okay, we're sitting on a couch. It's not what we're used to. You're like at this low point. So it was just kind of like, you wanted to work out, you couldn't. And it was just like, it sucked. But we got to do it together.
COVID and all. We had a COVID party.
Were you going to say something?
No, we had a few bumps to start with Heather. But I will say is I would get mad at her in training, but when time came, Heather did put her head down, and Heather overperforms is what I always tell Zoe. Heather overperforms when it's time to go, and that's all that matters.
Do you have anything else you want to say?
Remember, I'm a lot older than them.
Awesome. How do you incorporate your faith into the training and showing up at the games?
I would say I incorporate my faith into training and showing up to the games. Would say just walking in every day and just acting like you have like the meaning, like this is where I am supposed to be. Like I'm not thinking about other things. I really just try and come in and know that this is the path God has me on, and I want to be here, and this is where I know I need to be. So coming in here and honestly with a full heart, just knowing I'm in the right place and giving everything I have in here.
So I've been trying to make the games team since 2017 when I made alternate 2 years in a row, made a regionals team, and it was really hard on me in 2018. And it was kind of like, God, why would you let this happen? Like, I know you put this passion in me, so like, why can't I seem to do this? And it was this team and this season where God was like, I had you at this moment. I was waiting for you before this moment. And that was really cool, thinking even through the hard trainings and the horrible running that I had to do all the time, it was like, thank you, God, that I get to do this. That he made me run all the time. They got to do fun stuff, and I had to run.
At one point, this is the best way to sum it up. In our training, we always, like, obviously, I'll put James on something that he needs help on. I need to do, we all have your holes, you know. And we had our media guy taking pictures of us one morning, and it was one of our bigger training days. So we got to allocate even more time to kind of weakness work, as we'd say. And more or less, we're all kind of doing these complicated, fun things, as our cameraman would say. And we just say, Heather, go run. Go run.
Literally, run 400s back.
And the cameraman was like, you're just having her run? We're like, yes, yep, absolutely.
And I was praising Jesus through it.
I'll share kind of my story because I incorporate a lot of my faith into my fitness in general. Kind of like I alluded to a second ago, I had a major knee surgery that had me on crutches for 6 weeks, completely non-weight bearing, a year and a half ago, and I legitimately thought I was done doing competitive CrossFit. I was content just doing classes and being fit for life. And I went through a bunch of stuff within my own faith journey and kind of almost built my testimony, which I'm more than happy to share with anybody who would like to hear it, but just not on a microphone where I'll probably get emotional, and I don't want to do that on camera. So if you would like to ask, I'm more than happy to share it. But anyway, during that time, I actually had 0 tattoos, for example, and pretty much everything that I have tattooed on myself is related to my faith walk, and times during that changed who I was. And through that, I actually went through a Bible study with a lot of people from Kansas City, Faith RXD, which led me to ultimately moving out here. And I actually came to Backcountry because of a relationship that I formed with Becky 2 years ago during the Do More Charity Challenge, which was a charity event in Kansas City. It's actually coming up on October 9th, and I know that Faith RX is trying to send a team, which was going to potentially be us for a bit, but logistically we can't. Anyway, through Becky, I knew that when I came out here, Backcountry was the only gym for me. And through that experience, I met these 3 fantastic people, and they brought me out of retirement and into competing again and doing things that I didn't think I was going to be capable ever again, and ultimately brought me to the CrossFit Games, which I legitimately never thought I was going to go to. So my entire journey over the last 2 years has been because of my faith and my belief, and a lot of subtle and also very loud pushes from Christ to get me to this point. So I would not be here without God, plain and simple. So I've had quite the journey emotionally and physically, and just together with these 3. So incredibly grateful, and that's kind of my story.
And then for my story, it goes back to when I was a little kid. Like, my parents forced me to go to church. Like, I didn't really know what that meant. It was just kind of like what we did. And then it wasn't till high school my family started going through some stuff. I kind of like took it into my hands, and like I'd go to church like without my family, by myself. And that's where like I kind of made that connection. And it was always just like a sense of grounding.
Good, you did good.
Zoe loves microphones.
Yeah. How has God shown up in your journey? From like during the games and then just up to it, like.
Yeah, me?
Yeah. Unless you want to go, John.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So we are doing a worm workout. We just get back from Vegas. We're on cloud 9. We think we're really good. So we have to try and make the worm regulation for the games. So we make the worm heavier, a lot heavier, but we're like, oh, this is nothing. We just cake that thing out in Vegas.
We did fine in Vegas, yeah.
So I have like this big, long, like 40-minute workout written out. It starts with the worm, and we're doing clean and jerks all the way to the ground. You get on one shoulder, you go right over. We developed a system that would be quicker because there would be less calling. Usually the less calling you make, the faster you go. But we kind of learned the consequence of doing that. So we weren't talking a whole lot, and even being on the floor, all these teams were like chirping literally like every step. And we were kind of just like quiet. But we moved quick.
Yep.
So we were doing these clean and jerks. We get it to our shoulder, and we learn you catch it and you just go right over. And then right over, and then you don't. You don't have to say a word. Just assuming everybody can do it. We make the worm way heavier. One day we're doing it, and we start this big, long workout with a bunch of the clean and jerks with the worm. And we're first off, what was wrong is we were out of our normal order. So it was already weird. I'm in the back, which I'm normally not. I'd catch it on my shoulder like always, throw it over my shoulder like we're supposed to. But the worm is heavier, so we weren't quite used to it. Somebody could not, Zoe couldn't, or forgot. Zoe's in the very front, and she's short, so I couldn't see her. Because James, and then it was me.
Yeah.
So I couldn't see what was going on up front. I just heard James scream. And then I was like, what is going on? But by that point, the motor program already sequenced, and I'm going to drop it. Zoe and James have it on the opposite shoulder.
No, it's just Zoe.
Or
Just
Zoe,
Yeah.
it was just Zoe, but
Yeah.
you still have it on your shoulder.
Yeah, right.
Me and Heather drop it. This worm comes into, and this is right, James is like right in front of me. I remember like it happened yesterday. The worm goes into James' knee in like the worst possible angle you could think of, like a wrecking ball.
His good knee.
My good knee. My not
And he
surgery
falls
knee.
to the ground, and I'm like, and he's holding his knee, and in my mind it didn't look right, and I'm like, that is it. We are done. We are done with the CrossFit Games. And he's laying
I
on the
dislocated my
ground,
knee.
like holding his knee, and he can take it.
Yeah. So the worm hit me at an angle from directly behind, and I dislocated my knee, and relocated it shortly thereafter. I'm a chiropractor, so I have fun skills like that. And for a split second, I thought that we wouldn't be able to compete. We were still going to go and, experience the floor, hopefully, but not be able to compete. And you could say that God showed up and allowed me to actually recover pretty well in about a week. And I thought I was good to go. And then a few weeks later, 2 weeks out, we were doing burpees. And I don't know if you guys know, it was actually a Broncos game, so this is perfect. When the Chiefs played the Broncos and Patrick Mahomes dislocated his kneecap and it was kind of on the side of his knee, I did that doing burpees 2 weeks out from the game. So I dislocated my knee, which was really fun. But
I was glad because we got to stop a workout.
Heather was having a great time. And ultimately, once we got to Madison, it did not affect me. And based on recovery times and everything that I know about that injury, that shouldn't happen. So that is not something that's within my control. Like, obviously, I did a whole lot of treatment, fun things like that, but ultimately, I shouldn't have been able to compete in the way that I was on the floor. And again, kind of brings me back to my entire story that I literally wouldn't be there or here or with you all here right now without God. So, yeah.
Great. And then last one, how can we make disciples for Christ and spread the gospel through sports and CrossFit?
Get a lot of tattoos. Just kidding. My belief system is always to, in your actions, show your words. So what I mean by that is if you act in the way of Christ, basically, you love on people regardless of where they're from, what they're doing, how they affect you, those actions, those movements have impact on people, whether that's within a CrossFit gym or outside of a CrossFit gym. That's how I try to live every day. That's how I feel all four of us actually live our lives, which is probably one of the reasons that we get along so well. But I feel that I've always felt, and call this a hot take, but in my past I've been pushed off by people that have tried to push me into faith, and it took people that just loved on me constantly to push me into my faith walk. My sister in the back there is one of those people, and those people are who I'm grateful for, and those are the people that I try to emulate every day.
So I was thinking about this question because it's kind of deep.
Very.
You always
And-
got to have one of those to end it up.
So I did my homework. I was just thinking that athletes in sports are really put on a pedestal. You know, we just see like the touchdowns and the games and all of the things, and it looks so glorified on what we see. And you never see the behind the scenes, the tears. There are tears. The frustrations that you have with yourself, and whatever goes on in here affects your life out there. And I really try to be as real as possible in my faith, and I guess the way I live, but social media specifically, I suppose, and people I meet that it's not all perfect, But the only way that we can do any of this is with the Lord. I mean, like, it's hard. It's hard keeping your mind focused on competing all the time when you have 3 teenagers at home that are texting you constantly, asking when you're going to be home, and you're like, I will come home when I come home.
Mom, what's for dinner?
Yeah, pizza. So, that's just how I try to live my life, just being real. Like, we're just real people who really like to fitness.
I'm kind of in a similar boat to James. I think it comes down to how you act. And I really try and replicate. It's okay. Bless you.
Bless you.
I really try and replicate the way I act to be the most kind, loving person I can, so that when people do feel like they have something that they need to ask, that I'm kind of that safe space. Especially with coaching here, I see people, like, they let me know everything, their political views, everything through and through. And there's a lot of people here, and I really just try and be that middle ground for them, because I try and think that, 1, being a coach, they kind of look up to you, and 2, going to the games and really trying to be a competitive athlete, they look up to you even more. So I just try and have my actions to be loving and kind to everyone, kind of speak for itself in that way.
I mean, same with James, that actions speak louder than words. For me, at least, actions are what I remember. It's not more of the conversations, it's more of what people do, how they treat you, and I think that's just, yeah.
Cool.
I do want to say one thing.
Go for it.
From a previous question. One thing that meant the world to me, and I don't know, I think I told James this, I don't know if I ever shared this with these guys, but we prayed before before going onto the floor.
Every event.
Every event. And until we did it, I didn't realize how important that was to me. But it meant the world to me, and I think that's why God waited for me to be on this team and not previous teams, because that really meant everything to me. So God really was in and through everything we did.
That's cool. Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Unless y'all have anything else to say.
I don't think so.
Cool. Well, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.